Hi everyone, we're now at Elk Island National Park in Canada. So this area, you see those forests, national park. By its name, there was like many wild animals. According to the guideline they gave us, it was like moose, mule deer, elk, which is where the park name from. It was kind of like a deer, very big, kind of like a moose. Okay, and then there was wolf and coyote, the predator, which we do not really want to encounter, but it would be cool if they show up in my video. And then the white-tailed deer, black bison, beaver, which is the national animal of Canada, and plains bison and wood bison. So if you want to view animal in this park, suggestion is to visit at dawn and dusk, when animals are most active. But be alarmed when you see like female and young, because there was probably going to be a male protecting them. And bison and coyote often travel the parkway, which is kind of scary right now. Feel like I'm in the middle of the jungle. So moose and waterfowl are most active in rainy weather. So a suggestion would be, if you want to see them, come at dawn when it was raining. It's quite interesting that there are so many wild animals here. We only see bison and the birdie. So bison conservation is actually a famous site here. Millions of bison once roamed across the continent from Alaska to Mexico. However, within a single human lifetime, bison population in North America declined from tens of millions to less than 1,000. While almost all hope for the bison seems to lost, a few people act to save the species from extinction. The Canadian government purchased one of the last herd of bison, and between 1907 and 1912, over 700 wild bison was shipped by train to Elk Island National Park. Today, there are more bison in Elk National Park than there was in the whole North America in 1890s. Elk Island National Park is the only national park that maintains herd of both subspecies of North American bison. So now we are in the Highway 16. According to the plan fit, the wood bison should be on the south side, and the plain bison should be on the north side. The wood bison are the largest land mammal in North America. And quite interestingly, we see a bison crossing over side, which make it not really, So we'll talk something about the history of this park. So in the beginning, which is probably prior to 1900s, for centuries, Aboriginal peoples traveled through the western landscape. The Beaver Hills provide relief along the journey, a place to hunt and gather and rest. The Beaver Hills had as sticks surrounding by the pillows, which provide forage, protection, and plenty of water for plain bison, elk, moose, and deer. In late 1700s, the Northwestern and Hudson's Bay companies established rebel fur trading posts, which is, beaver fur, expensive. Explorers such as David Thomason and Anthony Handay opened the West to settlers, and homesteading began in late 1880s. Later, at the 1900s to 1910, in the aftermath of a wildfires that swept through the Beaver Hill area, the Cooking Lake Forest Reservoir was established in 1899. Although the forest was protected, wildlife was not. One of the last remaining herd of elk in Canada was attracted to the lush regrowth and result from the fire. 5 local men plunged by bomb to Dominion government of Canada to protect the herb. York Park, a 41 square kilometer fence inshore around Actonay, became Canada's first wildlife sanctuary on March 28, 1906. Later, remember the wildfire? It's time for return of the bison in 1910 to 1920. The plains bison in Duke Island National Park originated from the herb owned by Charles Allen and Michael Plant of Ronan Martina, and for $245 a head. The dominant government of approximately 400 bison. In 1907, this plain bison was shipped to the park by railway. So we noticed that since the wildfire, many animals have gone to really big trouble, and they, instead of getting the animal, they actually bring animals from elsewhere. So animals here in this area was descended from other animals elsewhere. So in 1920s and 1930s, the park started to grow and develop. In 1930 to 1940, the area became a national park. So before that, it was actually not a national park. And in 1940 to 1950, dual mandate preservation and recreation. In 1941, a program was inhabited to bring back the beaver to the Beaver Hill after a century of over-trapping. Beaver were reintroduced into the park were protected under federal law, and people cannot hunt them. In 1950 to 1960, there was a thing called the Uranium Pioneer House. In 1951, Prime Minister Louis East LeGarrette officially opened the Unique Pioneer House, replication of a typical home built by the early Unicorn settlers. It represents the first and the only unit of the post-York Island Museum that will portray the history of this part of Alberta. And then in 1960 to 1970, throughout to no longer exist, a small herd of pale wood bison was located in 1957 in a remote corner of the Wood Buffalo National Museum. For conservation purposes, 23 animals were transported to here. And in 1917 and 1918, remember a long time before there was like a wildfire? In 1979, fire was reintroduced into the park through careful plan preserve burn. So soon like government start realizing the fire can be quite devastating to a forest. So they start to actually work out and trying to protect this area from firing. And in 1980 to 1990, the York Island National Park was selected for trumpeter swamp program for its history, summer and breeding range, suitable habitat. So the trumpeter swamp population began its decline in the 1800s when the settlement of the Pearl resulted in overhunting and loss of critical habitat. After an absence over hundreds of years, the largest water flow in the North America was once again framed established in its park. And in 1990 and 2000, the Beaver Hill population Although it was kind of a small park, at least, you know, I'd be able to travel here in one day. While I filmed the Yellowstone National Park video, I need to stay there for like around 3 days. So we can get an idea of like this park is not that big. Okay. At the turn of the millennium, okay. MILLENNIUM. The Beaver Hill Initiative was established in collaboration with the park and the municipal partners environment group. The province government and industry, its mission is to work together for substantial region through action. This innovation support collaborate effort to sustain the quality of water, land, air, natural resources, and community development. Finally, 2000 and beyond. The year 2006 marked the 100th anniversary for York Island as the first national wildlife preserve in Canada. During the park's first century, the park evolved in many ways, while the version remained the same. Today, it continues to be a place of nature and for people, which is quite interesting that I just finished my picnic. 100 years have come and gone, and with the version and the incredible legends begin, we will see what will happen in the next 100 years. So we are now in the 2020, where there's like a scary virus wipe across the land. A year of disaster, at least for human civilization. And there are multiple places that are not open. For example, the Flow Bridge. We'll only be able to drive in the car, see some water, walk through the forest a little bit. Otherwise, there will be a longer view after all. So let's go.
That rock, where is that rock? Oh my God, just in front of me. So it's only about a foot deep now.
Yeah, more about like.
But then like these bushes, they look to me like they're a foot and a half or 2 feet underwater.
Do you mind to be in my video? To talk about something about the lake, like you do for the Canada Goose?
It wouldn't be your video.
What will he fish for?
Yeah, they're all hiding in the
Maybe you
deep
can
water.
try to bug me less, especially when I'm making a
But
video.
where we
And you,
are.
Whoops.
How
got a
deep
bird
was
behind me.
it? How deep
I
is
see.
it?
okay, do you mind to talk something about the lake?
How
You want to
deep-
say something about the lake, Nate?
How
Well, that we see a loon fishing for breakfast. And we saw ducks
what
out there earlier
loon?
too. I don't see them.
What will the loon
We're
fish
here with the
for?
Sheldon family in Edmonton, Alberta,
Where
Canada.
would
Well,
it
we're here
be?
at
Beautiful
Elk Island National
Astoten Lake, part of Elk Island National
Where
Park.
did our loon go, eh?
It's quite interesting that your
Our
pronunciation.
filmographer today will
Oh, he
be
eats fish.
Angela.
So that's why
She's
he
doing a
dives
wonderful
in the
job
water because the fish
capturing
are
all
under
of
the water.
nature's
And,
perfection.
oh, there he is.
My name is
He's
Uncle
swimming
Wayne.
over to the left.
Nice to meet you.
See? The loon is swimming to the... Oh, he just went back under the water to find the boardwalk over there.
Okay, you see this water? You think it was like so still, like they are not even moving.
I know.
And
it's just like, oh, there. Do you see
they're
him now, Leah? There's the loon there. See?
Where's the loon?
Where?
Yeah, right out in front here. See, he's swimming towards the right. You see his head moving back and forth? Because he's looking. Now he's gone. Did you see him go under the water?
Wait, he can live under the water?
No, he fishes under the water. Then he comes up for air.
Oh.
Yeah, but he can go like a short distance if he misses his prey, or he can go. I think he can follow them. So he might come up 20 feet further away, and he might not. We have to watch. I'm pretty sure.
So this water is actually living waters. Beyond this, the waves and the distant shoreline, 1,000 lakes and ponds scatter across the rails. Like Estonia, which is the name of this lake, their
Oh, there he is.
waters
He came
give
up.
life.
You see him over on the
Each
right?
drop nurtures animal
There's
and
where he
plants.
came up behind
Sometimes
that
this gift is hidden, seeping
And there he
away
goes.
through
He went down
rock,
again.
soil to land. beyond this park.
He must be hungry. He's
To
having
protect
breakfast.
Estonia is to
Okay.
protect the gift for life.
Not too far.
What's he fishing for?
Maybe fishing for chips.
The Estonian lake grow old. Its shoreline shrinking as marsh plants invade the shallow bays. When this plant die, their remains spread with the mud and oils across the bottom, providing a rich base for more plants to continue the invasion. Slowly as the lake aged, the marsh replaced the base, adding wrinkles to the Estonian shore.
He's close to this, just right here, the black one. See, he just went in the water again. Oh, Mom's got a cookie.
Do I miss something?
Road ends over there.
How deep will it be?
This is really far.
So just look at it.
How
The
deep
lake
water
in front of you, the bottom row, and the assortment of hills and hollows is created by glacier.
See that rock?
Over thousands
See,
of
it's only
years,
about 8
these
inches
hollows
or a
have
foot
collected
deep here.
water,
But it gets deeper as you
forming
go out.
shallow
Where
ponds,
that loon
where
is,
many
it's deep.
hollows dry lakes such as Estonia form.
Where? I don't see it.
I don't see the loon. Okay, do you see far out? Do you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 ducks? I think they're ducks. But, well, the loon went back under the water. Yeah, you have to wait. Every so often he comes up from the water. And then
That
he
a ducktail.
So I think those are ducks out there. They're far away, so I can't
The water's hot.
You think the water is? What?
How long will it be?
Did he come
How
up?
long will it be?
Before he comes up, it's hard to. Oh, and there's
Like it's
another
a-
loon over here. See, over on the left, swimming by himself. I'm pretty sure that's a loon. He's long and black, and he has white spots.
Okay, everybody above base for a quick picture.
Oh,